Tristanué vs Judaco. An excerpt. In Savage Errands, Volume 2, The Tharn of Maraqor, Tristanué Yale participates in the Sabler ambush of a slave caravan winding through the grey chases, narrow canyons that run down to the Sea of Hooks. At the end of the attack, Tristanué squares off against Judaco, an arrogant slave trader intent on killing the blue-haired princess before surrendering to the Sablers. Their confrontation is as follows. Throw down your arms, sir, you are surrounded. I command you to yield while your life is still yours. The Sabler captain, a man by the name of Leighton Oldwain, shouted. Your laces are too straight and too tight for me, you Sabler fool. I shall not yield to sanctimony. We are all murderers. Why do you pretend otherwise? You smell of too much soap. Sin has the better scent. He was dressed like the others of his clan in dark blue robes. Like Tristanué, he was a Kytherian with mocha skin, though his eyes were brown. A little disobedience brings the lash, but great disobedience brings destruction. You are beaten, the Sabler captain replied. Yield. I will not learn your lesson. The great bandit shouted, turning to River's granddaughter. But you, I thought I would sit back, wait for you, and catch my breath, but you took it away. What a strange look you have. Your hair is as blue as fairy wren. The living have many looks. The dead only have one, Tristanué warned, catching her breath, cold, blank, and grey. How dare you speak to me thus? A woman is at best half a man. By the laws of the pillars you only have those rights men give you, and I give you none. You are a witch, the man accused, but I am Judaco, son of Judathan, born of a harlot beneath the star of Abrazor. And by that God's name I shall put you in the ground if they will stand still for it, he said, nodding to Ba Leroy, Hax, and the other Sablers. The day of Dist comes. And these eyes shall see it. Judaco, Leighton mumbled to his second in command standing at his shoulder, the very man we want. Yes, but alas. I fear he is for the grave, sir. Look at the girl's eyes, she plans to kill him. No sooner had the officer opined, than the spearman, collecting his wits, his severed thumb, and the upper half of his broken spear, turned on Tristanué to kill her. Seeing this, Hax put an arrow through his neck. Spraying blood, the man staggered, gurgled, and collapsed. Observing the spearman's death, Tristanué glanced back at Hax, though her words were for Judaco. Friend of yours? Not often enough, the raider rebuffed. It is hard to trust a man who can only afford the same name year after year. We never liked each other. Then I'll be sure to bury you together so you can spend eternity working out your differences, Tristanué taunted. The raider chuckled. A coffin is too cramped a crate to pass for a confession booth. No, I wouldn't like that. Then surrender, live or die is it? The bandit asked. Whether one or the other, you won't be happy. Either way, it will be elsewhere. Careful how you speak to me, woman. The blood of Esors flows through my veins, and I look forward to spilling every last drop of it. I am curious to see what will spring out of it. Thistles, I imagine. Maybe I should give in, for I see no desire in your eyes to let me live. None whatsoever, the young woman swore. It is a hateful thing to leave the heartless alive. Besides, everyone knows prisons are not built for repentance but for profit. Putting a man in a cage only puts a penny in the hands of the man who made the cage. More than a penny. The killer replied, the regrets of one make another rich. Here we agree, stockades never served a soul. I see no use for men like you at all. Ambushing old and young, woman and weaned child? Better your corpse be hanged and left for crowbait. Humph. The way you are dressed, you are nothing but a plush-lipped babbler. A caster of threepenny spells, nothing more. I convict you of tricks, he said coldly. Then break my enchantment, if you can, Tristanué answered colder, holding her swords out in a gesture of invitation. Otherwise, come to me so I may set all your wrongs to right. Aim your fortunes against me and I shall show you to a pence. The slaver boasted. I cannot die. And I'll charge your soul more than it can pay. What do you say to that? I say only divine men can walk on water, not ghosts. Those Sablers who could hear Tristanué and Judaco's banter agreed with the saying. Others cheered. The latter of which you will so shortly be. You'll have to swim to your afterlife, sir. Alas, the lake you make for is one of fire. Ha! The inhospitality of holiness, fool. Holiness stands there, not 15 feet from you, she said angrily, pointing to the Sablers. Holiness would put you in fetters and feed you. And you? She held up the blood-slacked edge of the sinister minister. I'll put something colder in your belly. You are a jackal, better slain as soon as seen. I choose darkness. The bandit boasted. Then darkness you shall have, Tristanué promised with a vengeful smile. Lady Yale, you need not prove yourself thrice. My men stand ready. Litan interjected from a distance. Worrying over the young girl, the captain motioned for an archer to aim at Judaco, but Leroy waved off the order. I'll surrender after I've killed your jade captain. Tristanué gave out a huff. We may not be in the mood then, sir, Litan threatened. Yield, sir, I pray you. Save your prayers, the bandit sneered. No one's offering you any, Tristanué replied plainly. Very well, Mulot, he said, rolling his shoulders. Would I have caught you sooner? I would have died rich. And saying that, he launched at Tristanué. The fight was a furious one, for the man was no novice. More than once, Leroy felt his breath catch in his throat, terrified he would have to report the death of the princess to higher powers such as Malabranca or Howell, to say nothing of the implacable Prince of Wands. The swordplay between them was so fast, so frenetic, it was hard to make out their moves, being more a scintillating cloud of stabbing, slashing and flashing steel, ringing with blocks, ripostes and parries. It did not take long for Tristanué to deduce the man's style. He was all steel. Never punching or kicking, he never expected any from his young opponent. She was happy to wreck his assumption, frequently sending him back with kicks to the body or elbows to his temple. Tristanué always came on strong in battle, overwhelming her opponents with one of Joe Costa-Vallon's furious, spinning blitzes. However, when confronted with someone equal in skill to herself, she switched to counterattacks, confident she could work out any weaknesses in any opponent's style in the early part of a duel. So, for the first 2 interminable minutes of their fight, Tristanué constantly retreated, narrowly dodging swings that would have swept her head from her neck. But it was about then, just 120 seconds past their last words, that the man began to repeat himself. He had come to the end of his training, his style was folding back on itself. In the next second, her footwork was slightly different, her short swords canted in new angles, poised in new places. Judaco misinterpreted these variations as exhaustion, but no sooner had he done so, than a fabulous spray of blood erupted between them. The fight was over. The Sablers gasped, then cheered, and she killed him, Litan sighed. Tristanué delivered the killing thrust, then circled out, almost skipping, catching her breath. It was an act of supreme confidence, or showmanship, turning her back to the raider, but she knew the match was over. Judaco stood there, pierced front to back by the sinister minister. His strength vanished as his blood gushed out of him. Weakening, he dropped his half-swords. Circling back to the raider, she put her hand on her blade. Sorceress, you struck without pity. He moaned faintly, hear now my last words, save them for devils, she replied indifferently. Pulling her sword out of his heart, Judaco squealed, dropped to his knees, and gasped for breath as he fell on this side. You listened to them your entire life, now they can return the favor. Disregarding him, she stepped over the dying bandit and walked towards her squire, wiping the blood off her blades with a rag she picked up off the ground. Behind her, Judaco's eyes widened as the last flicker of life evacuated his bones. I see fire, he whispered timorously, dying. Leroy rushed in, picked Tristanué up under her arms, and pushed her into the air, praising, I tell you hacks, she is a lady of cold decisions. In her soft womanly cast hides an assassin. You are only one woman, my lady, but that is still one too many for the mad brutes of this country. Setting her on his shoulder, Leroy waded through the Sablers who cheered and clapped. Others made good gestures, including the sign of Shardakin. Still, others raised their swords to the sky, impressed with her bravery and the superb skill that so decidedly ended the raiders' challenge. After some time, Leroy set her down. Hax approved but, remaining true to his vow, said nothing. Nonetheless, his broad smile and beaming look assured her he remained in her corner. This has been a World of Elsuon recording. This excerpt from Savage Errands, Volume 2, The Tharn of Maraqor, was created using AI-assisted speech generation. Some inflections and pronunciations are not exact to the original text. Thank you for listening to the World of Elsuon. Please like, share, and subscribe. Copyright 2022 David Jet Tra. All rights reserved.